guys, I'm Leila, and today we're talking some Raid Shadow Legends, and hey, look what's up. We have the Asgardians have now joined Teleria. So the Loki chase has started, and if you're not familiar with this, if you log in for 7 days, you are going to be getting some of this perception gear, and then you're going to get Loki on day 7. If you log in for 14 days, you're going to end up getting a 2-star perfect soul for him. And then we have this whole other event going on afterwards that does get us an avatar. So you can see there's an avatar. And then we do also have another perfect soul as well too. So this is the Loki chase that's going on. And there's like a whole write-up here for it too if you're not familiar. But, you know, the idea is everyone's going to be able to get him for free. He's going to have perfect veil and evade. And they did put him in the barbarians. So what you are going to find out is all the Asgardians that are added to Raid, they found a way to work them into the barbarian faction. So log in for 7 days. We're going to have the Loki chase as well too. And this is important to note too. So if you haven't reached day 7 by November 22nd, you're not going to be able to claim him. And it's going to swap back to Shaman. Okay. And then here are the other champs as well too. So we do have like this whole Asgard divide event going on. So it talks about even among the Fae, Loki the Deceiver is a trickster without peer. Born in the dance of darkness, he walked the breath of the entire realm and witnessed beauty and horror in equal measure. Above all else, he prized one thing, freedom, and despised the iron grip LeMay and Serath held over Teleria. Loki's cunning mind hatched a scheme centuries in the making that one would lead to the gods' demise and give mortals control over their fates. Yet shattering the foundation of creation is not something Odin Faefather and his fellow Fae, former allies of Loki, will allow. The Fae of Asgard rally to his call and seek to end the trickster's ambition. The stage is set for the Asgard Divide. So the Asgard Divide is starting today, which happens to be the 21st at the time of this recording, and going through till October 24th, where we get Loki the Deceiver. As we talked about, it's going to be the free login. We're also going to have Thor Faehammer, Freyja Fateweaver, and Odin Faefather also going to be into the game as well too. And there's going to be a bunch of different things going on. So we do have the time-limited event dungeon going on where Odin Faefather is actual like the boss, right? So what's going on during this whole Asgard Divide is we get to do Loki chase to get Loki for free. We get to recruit Thor in an upcoming fusion event. So I called it. Video yesterday that I did talking about this is I mentioned how we were getting Loki for free and how we also had Freya and we had Odin, but they hadn't said anything about Thor. So I was like, maybe they're going to do a fusion for him. So now the fusion has been announced, is that Thor is going to be the fusion, okay? Now we don't know what kind, so we'll have to see. I'm assuming it's not going to be a fragment. We don't know if it's going to be a traditional fusion or if it's going to be like a hybrid one, so we'll have to see. We get to recruit Freya as a dedicated Deck of Fate event and various summon events, so she'll be in the summon pools as well. We get Odin in a champ chase tournament. There's going to be other summon events too, so there's going to be a summon pool and summon boost. We get to rise to Odin's challenge to test your strength against him in the first ever event dungeon, which that's already live as well too. And there's going to be a tournament to claim even more rewards as well. So this is everything that's kind of going on with the Asgard Divide. And at the time of this, there's a new spotlight out for Loki, so let's go watch that together. All right, so Raid has a new video out on their main channel. It's Raid Shadow Legends Champion Spotlight, Loki the Deceiver. I haven't seen this yet. Let's watch this together.
Hey everyone, the star of today's Champion Spotlight is one tricky customer. The embodiment of mischief, chaos, and cunning. Meet Loki the Deceiver. Introduced as part of the Asgard Divide event, alongside 3 other legendaries inspired by Norse mythology, Loki is a master of manipulation and misdirection. Despite his penchant for convoluted schemes, recruiting Loki the Deceiver couldn't be easier. Simply join the Loki Chase event by logging into Raid for
that's nice
7
and easy.
days between August 21st and November 22nd to add this devious fellow to your collection. Important note, you need to have started the Loki Chase by October 24th in order to get Loki via this method. So get going ASAP. Don't worry if you haven't reached day 7 by that point. You'll still have until November 22nd to get there. But October 24th is the cutoff for starting the Loki Chase. Like with Chronicler Adolin, there's an extra 7 days of goodies after you earn Loki, as well as an entire second phase of rewards. So keep playing
Yeah, we
after
talked
day
about that.
7 and rack up points in the second phase of the Loki Chase to get even more useful resources. And enough souls to increase Loki's awakening level to 5. Now, let's see what this trickster has in store for us. Loki doesn't like things to be straightforward.
Of
So we're
course not.
starting this spotlight with his passive skill. Like most people, Loki doesn't enjoy getting hit. Lucky for him, Missed Step allows Loki to avoid damage entirely. First off, Loki gets a perfect Veil buff for 2 turns at the beginning of each round, which already makes him untargetable by most single target skills. That perfect Veil gets reapplied for 1 turn whenever Loki falls under 50% HP. On top of that, Loki gets a 15% chance of evading all damage and effects from enemy skills. We're not talking about reducing incoming damage to 0. We're talking dodging an attack entirely.
That's kind of
Whenever
cool.
Loki's under the effects of Veil or Perfect Veil, that evade chance doubles. You didn't think catching the Deceiver would be easy, did you? And if he's below half health, Loki evades the next attack automatically. Although this guaranteed evade goes on cooldown after that, the regular chance to avoid attacks remains. Man, this guy's tougher to catch than a sea serpent covered in baby oil.
Oh my
Now
goodness.
let's check out Loki's default skill, Flames of Mischief. This one is pretty straightforward. He attacks all enemies and has a chance to increase the duration of all debuffs on them by 1 turn. If Loki is concealed by a Veil or Perfect Veil buff, that chance increases from 30% to 50%. Loki will take any opportunity to spread some chaos. The next skill on our list is Deceiver's Gambit, and it has some great utility. You can choose either an enemy or an ally as the target, and you'll get wildly different effects in each case. If you target an enemy, Loki has a chance to apply block active skills and block buffs for 2 turns. If he uses Deceiver's Gambit while under the effects of any Veil buff, he also spreads 2 random debuffs from the target to all other enemies. Blocking the whole team's skills is quite the enticing prospect. On the other hand, if one of Loki's allies isn't doing so hot, he can target them instead, healing them by 50% of his max HP and hiding them with a Perfect Veil buff for 2 turns. If Loki is under Veil or Perfect Veil, he will spread one of the target's buffs to the rest of the team as well.
Oh, that's
he can
neat.
even target himself for a quick heal and a helpful Veil buff. Finally, we have Bandit Flash. Loki targets one enemy and gets a chance to steal all buffs and turn meter. Once again, using this skill while under an active Veil or Perfect Veil is much better, as it makes both effects irresistible. Like a thief in the night, Loki's here, and then he's gone.
And then he's
Even
gone.
if he fails to steal the target's turn meter, it's not a complete bust. He'll fill the turn meter of all allies by 15% instead. A good bandit always needs a backup plan. There's one more bonus to wrap things up. Loki places a 50% increased attack buff on all allies for 2 turns. Loki loves to let others fight for him, so give him a helping hand. All right, that's it for the skills. Tactical recap time. Loki the Deceiver is a support champion in every sense.
Yeah, which makes sense.
He's pretty
The new
tough to
support
kill,
champ.
thanks to his misstep passive, and he has plenty of ways to mess with the enemy through debuffing or manipulating their buffs. On the flip side, Loki really isn't much of a brawler, so don't expect him to solo the Hydra. No, this trickster works best from the shadows. Give him
That makes
someone
sense.
to hide behind while he schemes, and he'll work wonders in plenty of scenarios. You might also want to bring another champion who can cast Veil or Perfect Veil to keep Loki concealed and his skills working at peak effectiveness. As for gear, you'll definitely want accuracy and speed. Some HP can be useful to empower Loki's Trickster's Gambit heal, but consider this as a nice-to-have rather than an essential. Loki is a champion who will greatly benefit from gear sets that decrease skill cooldowns. Both his active skills are pretty powerful, so you'll want to use them often. The new Feral set, obtainable in the Siege mode, may be a good fit for him
that's
as
an
well,
idea.
thanks to its accuracy and speed boosting capabilities. Plus, the ability to prevent an enemy's polymorph blessing going off isn't too shabby either. Other than that, check out some suggestions on the screen and build Loki as you would any debuff specialist. And that's all for today's Spotlight. Keep your wits about. Don't trust Loki's honeyed words. There's a reason he's called the Deceiver, you know. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more.
Okay, well, what do you guys think of that? So, I mean, there's a couple of things I like. I do like how, you know, with his abilities, they pretty much have him doing this whole... I do like the Perfect Veil thing. I think that kind of jives. I think that kind of works with Loki. I mean, the Trickster, the Deceiver, you know, basically kind of wanting to, you know, misdirect, you know what I mean? So I actually kind of like that they're doing that with his kit. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be fun in general. So it's going to be a pretty good free login champ for sure, I think. I'd love to know what you guys think. Are you excited about this? Are you excited about the Asgardian Divide? Are you excited to get Loki? And again, like we talked about, so we already know that Thor, so Thor is going to be the fusion that's confirmed. We're going to have to see that coming up as well too. Guys, drop me some comments down below on what you think. And hey, thanks for watching.